Hi, this is Shane Starr. Another beautiful LA morning in traffic. And this morning I'm thinking of typology, like usual. Today, the main thing on my mind is, what are we using it for? Let's say you've figured out your type. Good for you. It can be a never-ending journey down the rabbit hole for some of us. But let's say you figure it out. Is that the end of the beginning, or is that the beginning of the end? In other words, what are you using typology for? Now, for me, I can answer that question, and that's because I have always done it upside down. I look to my problems first, and then from my problems, I figure out my type, which leads me back to the main problems of that type. And if I got it right, those should line up. And then I start working on those problems until I have a good hold on them. And then it's time to sort of reevaluate the whole thing. And maybe that's why I'm more elastic in terms of typing than most people. I still am not convinced that we're born, raised, live, and die all with the same strict type. Now, I think that's possible, and I don't think we veer too far off in wild directions, but I don't think it's set in stone either, any more than I think people are. People change. We've all known people who change and develop, sometimes for the better, oftentimes for the worse. But I'm getting off the point. My point is, what are you using typology for? And for me, as I've already expressed, I use it to define and attack the problems in my life. And it gives me a sort of laser focus so that I can work on 2 or 3 things to improve. And it's sort of like a evolving process. The problems gradually shift, and then I reevaluate and I start attacking those. I think to back off of everything for a moment, how do other people use it? I think most people just figure out their type and they don't really use it at all. So to use typology, even that phrase seems probably foreign to many, if not most, people in the Facebook community groups. I think a lot of people use it to work out their relationships with others. I know sociologists use typology to figure out their duals and supervisors and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, to me, that's a lot of moving parts. You have to have your own type right, which in many cases is doubtful. Then you have to have the other person's type right. And when you look at that, it's kind of like a square root problem. Now, your chances of having both your types right are less than even having one or the other. And then trying to work out your relations based on that can be problematic, if not impossible. But I'm sure there's people who successfully do it. I think the key for me is using it at all. And back to the point I brought up that most people don't. If most people aren't using it as a tool for self-development and growth, then why use it at all? Why are we wasting so much time with mindless navel gazing? I think if you're going to be into typology, whether it's MBTI or socionics or whatever system you enjoy using the most, or systems, I think you got to do something with it to make it worthwhile. So ask yourself, what am I using this for? What benefits am I gaining from the time and work I'm putting into it? And if you can answer that question affirmatively and positively and decisively, then good for you. That's all I got.